Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Rangadad. Not financial advice, just the way I'm looking at the markets. Hopefully, you guys get something out of it as well. First off the bat would be just want to have a quick look at the liquidation levels. So this one here, well, I posted in Origin last night that high 6300, 63k is probably going to be a good place for a retrace. It was mainly based on two things. One was the point of control. It literally just tapped straight into that point of control and has rejected off that. So that was a good level. I actually think we might finish this candle. What do we got? Another 2.5 hours. We potentially finish this candle a little bit higher. I don't think we'll get through that point of control yet. I actually think that we'll probably come back in and maybe retest the well, there's two places we could retest. One would be the value area low, which aligns with the mid band of the Gaussian channel. That would actually be a very solid retest because it's also a level of support here where we had resistance in the past, and support over here as well. So, and a fair bit of volume around that area. So it wouldn't surprise me in the next few days if we get a retrace back into the 60k sort of level. The other option is we actually break out, form a new high here, and then retrace back into this level. That's something I think may happen, but I certainly trading the shorter time frames to see what will happen. We could just keep going without any retrace like we saw sort of through here. But as you can see in all these moves, that the pi cycle lower band has been some resistance, as well as the mid band of the Gaussian channel. And to be honest with you, it's probably more the mid band of the Gaussian channel that's going to be the critical one. But also every time we break the point of control, it does seem to retest that. So, you know, we obviously haven't done this. We could do something like that. We could end up finishing at the top of the Gaussian channel here or higher. But this is a big volume area. I'm not expecting us to get through this quickly. In saying that, when we do look at the heat map, target around that 65k, sorry, which if you remember from a few months ago, 65k was a critical level for us as well. That was on one of the big runs up. Now, obviously the pullback has been good. Still a bit of liquidity left to the upside, but it only really got put into the charts at the peak here. So do we go back up here quickly? Probably not. Just refresh that. I think it's more likely that we actually come back down and take some of this. Now, where that will stop, so you got 61,400 is a big level by the look of that. Where are we there? So that would get you down a bit below the high cycle indicator. This level here is around the 60.5. So if we just go back to that, so 60.5 would take all of this. And I think that over the weekend, that's potentially a target. Yeah, 60.5, probably not a bad level to look out for over the weekend, but whether we get another push up or not before that, we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of liquidity down here. I'd be surprised if we go back down into those levels, at least before any major financial issues. The bottom of that's around 57.5. So I think I doubt we're coming back into the 200 EMA anytime soon. The reason I think we may pump first and then come back. I could be completely wrong there. Like we'll have a little bit of a retrace today, but the reason I'm thinking this could be only temporary is if we pull up into this area, maybe even hit the value area high, and then come back. The 50 EMA is going to be a lot closer, and the 200 EMA is going to even be closer to the Gaussian channel as well. The top of the Gaussian channel is probably going to provide a bit of resistance. It hasn't been a super resistance point along here, potentially due to the fact everyone thinks this is going to new all-time highs and everyone's FOMOing in, so it does push through these levels. We potentially get the same thing, but it may go reasonably quickly through this level as well. So it may go. Actually, just looking at it, 65.5 is probably going to be a decent resistance level, even though there's low volume. The fact that this is a vector candle on the daily, it's probably not a bad level for some resistance. So I think next 2 days we'll potentially see that level. It's just whether we come back down into value area low first or whether we do it after hitting that level. Just have to wait and see for the shorter time frames, I think. Bitcoin longs still building, so there hasn't been much of a drop off at all in these. A little bit of a sell around the top here, but that little local top there. But generally still building, no one's selling yet, and that's a pretty bullish sign. Yeah, I think 61.5 is a pretty good level for a pullback. And we've kind of had the 3 legs up. This is why I wanted to show this. So shorter time frames. Sorry, just gotta get rid of that. Yeah, shorter time frames. We've had 1 leg up. We've had another leg up, which wasn't as big as the first one. So there's some things to do with that could suggest we got another run in us. And then obviously we've had another leg up here now. It's not textbook stuff, but generally 3 pumps is good. It's just whether or not you consider. Normally the second pump is the bigger one, so whether you consider this whole move as being the second pump, in which case wherever that finishes, you would expect at least that again, and which lo and behold, if this finishes somewhere in this region, you're getting close to that 65.5, which is a key level. So that's sort of something to look out for. I guess at this stage, I'm leaning more towards seeing where this goes and seeing where we have a turnaround. I'm looking mainly on the 5 and the 15 minute for that turnaround. The hourly will give you a fair idea as well, but hourly's a little hard on Bitcoin with the type of trades that I do. It's tend to reacts a bit slow for my liking. But yeah, so they're the scenarios I'm paying attention to at the moment. Probably back into the 62, 61 and a half, and then another leg up. But yeah. What else are we looking at? I mean, everything's pretty bullish at the moment, really, when you're looking at all these. Yeah. So it's sort of pulling into the mid band, around 62,700 of the anchored VWAP. Yeah, it's also coming into. Looks like it wants to pull back into this structure around that, somewhere between 62.2 and 61.8. But basically, I'm looking to start to build some longs because I think in general we're going to trend up at the moment. What else we got? So that's a 5 minute. Yeah, 5 minutes coming into that level 62,800. Not a bad level. It'll probably get on the way down, and this is why I think that daily candle potentially close a little bit higher over the next couple of hours. You're probably going to look something like this. You actually want to see a little bit of a lower high on the shorter time frames, and then probably back into this level in here around that 62k mark. But yeah, even into the 6100, because one thing we do have, and it's not a huge thing, but stochastic momentum, you'll probably get at least one sort of push up on stochastic momentum on the shorter time frames, and then another leg down before you get another run. But the medium time frame, so I think that would probably be, also that's a 20-minute time frame for some stupid reason, but the hourly and the 20-minute, they're sort of coming off significant highs in terms of stochastic momentum. So they don't have to come back down. You don't have to get a big drop. We could actually stay quite high for a while. It's just an indicator. Like if you're hitting key levels and those indicators are flattening off, then just be careful. Now's probably a good time to be favoring longs for a bit. Shorts are probably going to get wrecked if you hold them too long. I've got one that I'm still holding at the moment, but working on getting rid of that. So, yeah, I was going to have a look at the other markets. So, Nasdaq's, I mean, that was a massive run, really solid. It was something like, maybe I was looking at it too early, but I could have sworn it was like a 2% run up pre-market, but maybe the market had already started when I was looking at it last night. Anyway, smart money indicators, bullish posturing, stochastic momentum's high, volatility's high. Everything's pointing up at the moment. For that, close above the Gaussian channel's good. It did provide some resistance previously. So that's a very bullish sign. Yesterday, I was concerned. I did think there was signs that it didn't want to run, but the market just was faking us out. So everything else that I've been feeling and thinking and seeing over the past few weeks has suggested that we're probably going to go higher. So I guess the overwhelming data is the one to go with there. S&P 500, big day. Oh, that's, yeah, sorry, I was looking at the futures. It was actually a big gap up. Yeah, that's a massive gap up. That's huge. What's the percentage on this one? 1.2%. This gap here. That was a 2.3% gap on the open. That's mental that it could even hold that level. A little bit concerning, like that could be left for weeks. It could be left for a couple of days. So next week will be interesting to see what happens. But at the moment, you would think that pullbacks are going to be met with significant buying demand, and at most it'll be a retest of these moving averages and the mid band of the Gaussian channel. But I expect we're going to have a bit more of a run first before that happens. Probably another couple of, actually we got options expiry today, so options expiry might have something to say about that. The other thing on Bitcoin is there's a lot of big orders down below here now, so back into this again, that sort of 61.8, 62 level. Wouldn't be surprised if it has a go at them. But again, it could just be that we still get another leg up before we get a retrace, and a retrace before breaking new all-time highs is a good thing. We do want a gradual move up here, so decent retraces and then pushes higher, kind of what you're looking for. You don't want to break new all-time highs quickly. You just don't have the momentum to keep it going after that. Max pain. Actually, I don't think I can get to this. I haven't got a paid subscription, but let's see if they can do it. Oh yeah. So S&P 500, today's the one that we want. What the? It is, yeah. So max pain is actually at 54.50. That seems odd. Geez, that'd be a massive drop to get to that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Wall Street might take a hit if that's where it stays. I'd be very surprised if we drop. What's that? $300 just in one day. Very unlikely to happen. Anyway, that's an interesting data point. Typically, max pain is something you want to pay attention to when you, particularly, I think it's triple or quadruple witching hour today, which means that like all your options are expiring across multiple different systems. So yeah, look, maybe we get a decent retrace. But even then, where's the S&P? I mean, that would close that gap and then some, but I'd be surprised. But markets do love surprising people, so yeah. It will be interesting. I gotta get rid of that fucking price tag. Yeah, look, Max Payne sitting around here at the moment. I doubt it. Very much doubt it, unless there's some news pre-market or during the market that says the economy is completely rat shit. Everyone's going to lose their houses. Then maybe we get that drop, but that's what's that percentage wise? Into 40, 54, 50. You're talking 4.5% drop in a day. I don't think that's going to happen. Something to keep in mind. I think at the moment, the options market is really governing a lot of the moves in regular stock market, particularly the indices, just because people are having to buy to cover, like issuers are having to buy to cover, and that gets you into positive or negative gamma, and that just pushes things in one direction or the other. And at this stage, it's pushing it up. So till that stops, have to see. Just keep going with the flow, I guess. Equal weight pushing higher as well, which is good. IWM, good move. Ooh, couldn't clear that candle, which is interesting. Finding a lot of resistance at this level still. So I think IWM needs to really break above that level for things to look even more rosy, because XLY, XLP, though, it obviously had a good day. So again, it's suggesting there's support in the market. Regional banking is up as well. Hasn't cleared the highs, so you kind of want to see that clearing highs before we go on another big run. Home construction is up. That's off the back of some pretty good data, though, for the housing industry or the building industry. DJI gold is back down a little bit, but still in this range. We haven't broken. If we break this low here on DJI gold, then you got to be really careful, because that typically does precede a decent drop. VIX is coming down, which is good. Skew is still going up. So that was one of the key data points the other day, was skew still pushing higher. Generally, you're not going to get a major drop if skew's doing that. So all the other regional markets are going up. TLT is coming down. Probably get some support here soon, unless everyone's factored in all the potential rate cuts. High yield is still going up. That was another data point, another key data point to suggest that, if these guys are happy, if this is moving up, then generally the stock market's going to be going up. Okay. If these guys drop off hard and the stock market's going up, then you got to be a bit more concerned. It's time to worry. 10 years still dropping. Yeah, so 10 years definitely more popular at the moment. People are getting ready. They're positioning themselves for the long term. Copper, good breakout here. Top of the Gaussian channel, so may get a little pullback, but I'd expect copper to be up around that 465 over the next few weeks. Again, that this move just suggests that the economy is in, well, the market at least thinks the economy's okay at the moment, at least for a little while yet. Gold, good pullback, good run up again. I think gold tagging the 2600. What was that? High, yeah, literally 2614 cents. Good level for a pullback, but look, gold in these sort of environments, it's probably going to be up around the $3,000 mark over the next year, I would think. So holding on to that position, we are seeing potential for breakout of silver against gold as well. So silver did have pretty good pump. It did have a bigger pullback than gold though as well. So this again, look, when you see this sort of formation, generally you want to be looking for bounces around that level, around the level of this middle of the W. So I would expect this to push higher, and I would. Does that work? No. Yeah, it didn't work. What am I doing? So you're looking up into these levels here. So the 24.5. This is British pounds, but that's a pretty solid target there. Might take some profit around that, but again, I think silver's going to go pretty well. Long term, it's due for a run. US oil's still making its way up, which is, again, this is going to be something I'm looking at closely. It's going to be a choppy run up, but over the next 3 to 6 months, if gold's peaking, if oil's peaking, then that's going to be pretty close to the top of the market, I would think. Something's likely to break. Dixie challenging the low here again. Interesting little M formation on the Dixie, actually. We've had a pullback into that level, and now it's testing it again. That would indicate a Dixie of around, let's call it, I mean, you could take it from the middle of the W and it's looking at 99.5 effectively, which I think is it's a key sort of level around here as well. So Dixie seems likely to find that 99.3, 99.4 level, which will be good for the other currencies. Aussie dollars finally had that move into the 68. Solid move into the 68, and looks like it's going to finally break this 800 EMA. So the 800 EMA has provided a bit of resistance on the way down here. So decent break of that, and you're targeting, I'd probably be targeting somewhere around this sort of level. Back up into the 73s. There was a resistance point there. 72, high 72s maybe. So that's something to keep an eye on. And that's about all I'm going to cover today. Should give you a pretty good idea. But yeah, generally, Bitcoin may get a little pullback, but overall, in the next few weeks, you'd be expecting a decent move to the upside on Bitcoin. If we break below and sort of, I'd probably expect at least 2 closes below the value area low. If we have 2, then it's actually not great, and I'd be looking more to the downside. But at this stage here, I think we're going to be challenging the upside more. All right. That'll do for today. I'll catch you later.